This is a video based on what you can likely expect from your first year in private practice. So, the first year in any business, you are unlikely to turn a profit, ultimately. Your expenditure might be more than in subsequent years, and you might struggle to turn a profit. We don't know. I did in my first year. And I was still sort of training, so I was still paying for personal therapy and things like that out of it. And I created my own therapy room at home, which you can see behind me. So there were expenses, things like furniture and stuff like that I needed to put into my outgoings, but I still managed to make a profit in my first year. So it is possible. I am not one of the only ones. It's just, it really depends. And it depends on how many clients you're looking for as well. So what you can expect is that your first year there will be a lot of instability. It's not going to all of a sudden stabilize and remain like that. It will go up and down. So an expectation that that's what's going to happen would be really good to have from the very, very beginning. Of this is going to take a while to settle. There's going to be things you can do, like keeping an eye on times of year when you suddenly get a flurry of inquiries. Make a note of it somewhere. After Christmas, for instance, January, it's a classic time for people wanting to make a change. And I did get a flurry. Didn't know what to expect, but I did get a flurry of inquiries right at the beginning of January, after the Christmas holidays. Summer holidays likely to be quieter. You might find September is going to be more, you'll get more of a flurry of inquiries in September when it's like new term, people are back from their summer holidays, things like that. So seasonally, it'll be good for you to kind of just check out so that you can begin to notice where you're at in the year, what's happening with the seasons, and see whether that has an impact on the amount of inquiries you get into your business. Another thing, it's going to be hard work. It's going to feel like hard work because you're setting a lot of things up. You're setting up agreements that sit well with you, and you're working on privacy policies, and you're registering with the ICO, and you're sorting out your insurances and making sure that if you're running it from home, that your home insurance covers you for seeing clients in your home. Or you might be working hard trying to find a space that you can rent, or a room that you can rent, and how that works. And it's going to feel a lot like hard work. There's things like websites, directories, choosing a name, setting up as a sole trader, all of those sorts of things. There's a lot to do, or there's a lot that you can choose to do in your first year. You can keep it quite simple, where you do a directory, you work online with people, you have insurance, you register with the ICO. You keep it really, really simple. You don't have to do everything all in one go. I didn't have a website for ages with my business. I do get some inquiries through my website, and I do convert some clients through my website, not a huge amount. I'd still say word of mouth is bigger for me in terms of gaining clients, then directories, and then my website. But that's just the way it seems to be working for me. You don't need a website. You may never need a website. I have one now, that's my choice, but I didn't have one, and I certainly didn't need one right at the beginning. So instability we've got at the minute, and hard work, two things to expect, or what feels like hard work. Third one, you are going to feel like an imposter most of the time. You will be doing things in the first year of your business to try and work out what works for you. It might be things like networking, and you might feel the imposter syndrome creeping in. It's totally normal. We know as counselors and therapists, imposter syndrome creeps in everywhere. You don't see it coming, and all of a sudden it's there. You will feel like that. Within the first year of your business, you will feel like an imposter, I don't know, 20 times over. Expect it to happen. As I I think you're probably already expecting these things to happen. Know that it's going to show up and that it's okay that it does, because a lot of these things you'll be doing for the first time. And so you can expect that that imposter syndrome will be really, really real and really present. If you can put an arm around the imposter, bring it alongside with you for the journey, and things will become less odd and you'll feel more comfortable in what you're doing if you choose to embrace the situation for what it is, embrace the discomfort. Number 4, you will have days where you feel like it's just not working. Guaranteed you will feel like that. I've had so many days in my first year of business where I was like, this isn't working. What am I doing? Go out and get a job, a badly paid job potentially as well. Such is life at the moment with this industry. But you will have days where you wake up and you think, what the hell am I doing? Is this ever going to work? Am I going to be able to sustain myself on this? The answer is yes. It took me less than a year to become stable enough in my business that it would sustain me, which I'm very aware that I was in a very fortunate position for that to happen, and that has continued. And I realized that not everyone has, I was going to say such an easy ride, didn't feel like an easy ride, but I do feel like things are settling a little bit now. But there are still days when I wake up and think, what am I doing? And that will continue. I think that continues in like every job you have. I think that's just something that's part of life, really, and working life in whatever realm that looks like for you. You're also going to do a lot of tweaking. You're going to be tweaking directory profiles and tweaking prices and tweaking networking events and how you show up and social media and all of that. There's going to be a lot of working things out. Is this working? Is it not working? How does this land with people? That kind of thing. And that is okay. It's great. Rather than being particularly rigid about it and going, no, if it doesn't work, if this is the way I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to tweak anything. This is 100% the way I'm going to do it. And if it doesn't work, then it obviously doesn't work. You want to try and sort of analyze things a little bit, like in terms of the peaks and troughs of seasons, for instance. Keep those pieces of information and use them to try and work out what else might be going on, rather than just throwing the towel in and deciding that private practice isn't for you. It can be for you if you choose to continue to tweak things, hold the imposter syndrome steady, keep waking up, keep showing up in your business every day, keep doing those touch points with your clients and your potential clients and your marketing. The last thing that I want to say, so that's 6. So we've done instability, we've done that it's going to feel like hard work, we've done the imposter syndrome, we've done that it feels like nothing's working, we've done the tweaking of things. You will also find that you could start comparing yourself with a lot of other people. Well, such and such has had their business for less time than me, and they've got this many clients, whereas I'm doing this and I've only got this many clients. And whilst it isn't helpful, it can also be really useful to understand or gain some insight as to what it is they are actually doing differently. How do they use social media? What information can you glean from them in terms of their pricing or who they're offering to work with or where they choose to advertise that is working for them? Because whilst it isn't great to compare yourself to them because your situations will be really different, at the same time, going into it from a more objective point of view of what are they doing that is working, what can I learn from them, is actually a really useful stance to take if you can get yourself there and remove the emotion of why not me within this. So ultimately, I think what I'm trying to say is your first year of private practice is going to be quite up and down and worthwhile. If you can make it last a year and you can grow it over the course of a year, then you're onto a winner. That's what I think. That's where I will plant my flag in the sand. I am I was looking at my stats actually, because I've just done my tax return. I was looking at my statistics for the last year, and I looked at it, and month on month I doubled my income until I got to a point where it then plateaued, which was the point where it was sustainable enough for me. So mine went quite considerably high quite quickly. It was, I think it took about 6 months where it doubled, and then it plateaued. And I've been a bit like this, tiny bit wobbly, but it's been pretty consistent for like the last, certainly that second 6 months, and then all of the months since then. So try and keep an open mind. Understand that it's going to take at least 12 months for things to settle down a bit, but also that not all of it is down to you. Some of it is down to seasons as well, and all of these other things. It could be, the financial status of this country, how certainly where are we, end of April 2024, that actually the cost of living is really expensive. And so you might find that people need help with their mental health more than ever, but they can't afford it, and they're holding off for the moment. And that hopefully if things like interest rates start to drop back down again, that actually more people will have more money in their pocket at the end of the month, and then they'll reach out for mental health help as and when they can. So sometimes things aren't in your control, and that's okay. It's important to keep those in mind as well. I think I've spoken for long enough. If you've got any specific questions, I'm more than happy to answer those. Just drop me a line, drop me an email, drop me a phone call or something. Get in contact on my website. I'm happy to answer any questions, because I literally have nothing to hide, and I would like to help as many people as I can succeed in their private practice. Take it easy. See you soon. Bye.